Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Unbothered Podcast, where we like to chat about the challenge. And we are back chatting about MTV's The Challenge, season 39, Battle for a New Champion. We got 2 episodes this week for whatever reason, episode 3 and 4. So we got like 3 hours of challenge content, which I'm fine with.
Yeah,
I'm
I was
fine
fine
with
with
it. I don't know why they did it. Some people speculate it was because of the low ratings from the last 2 episodes, and they're trying to just get to the champs as soon as possible.
Which sounds plausible.
It sounds completely plausible. So episode 3 is titled It's a Matter of Semantics. Why it's titled that, we don't know. Again, production, I'm available if you want to hire me strictly to come up with much better and catchier episode titles. Call me. I'm happy. I'd be happy to. So episode 3 starts out like they always do. We're returning back to the house from the previous elimination. James wins the previous elim, sending Chauncey home. And Jay jokingly tells James he would love to keep him around for a final if that's how he runs.
I actually wrote that down because that was so funny.
It was. I didn't catch it till the second time. Yeah, I will happily run against you in a final. And James is like, ha ha ha. And I'm like, better find that treadmill, my friend. Do that in your spare time instead of staring at Mariah's ass.
Yeah. No
anyway,
shit.
Speaking of Mariah's ass, she lounges ass up in a bed, just flirting with James.
If I looked like that, I would grocery shop.
Oh yeah, my ass would be out too. Absolutely. I wrote, she clearly has a thing for older men. Because James is like 36, 37. I think she's like 23. And Bananas is like 40.
She said he's like her perfect type. I'm like, okay.
In what way? I need to know in what way.
Do y'all like him better or worse than Bananas though?
I like his personality a lot better than Bananas.
Yeah, I do too.
I'll admit they work better together.
With Bananas,
yeah, for sure.
Bananas kind of, I don't know. He's iffy when it comes to relationships.
He is the star of his own show, and always will be.
It's true.
And he is just horrible at being faithful. James may be as well, but Bananas is a real arrogant prick about it, in my opinion. And Mariah actually does say in her confessional she kind of feels bad flirting with James because she is still fucking around with Bananas.
I mean, they kept saying over and over, you know, not just her, other people too, like they weren't together. But Olivia seemed to think that, you know, there was an issue there. Nerys did not. Nerys
here and like going on dates and stuff, and then they hung out before that she went to the challenge. So that's why I think Olivia had an issue with it, because it's like you're doing all that stuff in public eye, and then you go on the show, and then so
yeah, and I'm team Olivia on this. I think, you know, if it was my friend doing that, I'd be like, hey, yeah, it's a bit shady.
Yeah, like, what you doing, girl? Like, you're literally gonna get dragged probably, because it looks bad. They aren't together. Like, we're hanging out a lot. And then even when you saw in like the little intro episode they showed us, he literally, when TJ called Mariah, he was with her.
Right.
So it just looks so bad. Like, literally you were just with now. It just looks so bad.
And obviously that, you know, that all takes place in episode 4. But I'm I see where both Nerys and Olivia were coming from. Like, yeah, they don't have a label, but it's also at the same time, like, if the roles were reversed and Bananas was doing this to Mariah, he would get lit the fuck up.
Yeah.
You're leading her on, you know, it doesn't matter if you're not official. Like, there's still something there, unless you all had an agreement prior to coming into this house, which Bananas would never agree to that, by the way. Not on his end. He would not, especially not on this show. There's no fucking way he would be in agreement. Like, yeah, just go do whatever you want to do. And then now, like, there's this whole speculation that prior to season 39 filming, Bananas was fucking around with some chick he filmed House of Villains with, which of course it's Bananas, but Mariah did not know that at the time of filming season 39.
Well,
so
we know we know Callum for sure has a girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
Had a girlfriend. So yeah.
something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to Michelle, which I don't know how either she just
I think she knows. I think she doesn't care.
well because
Yeah.
she asked him a few times and he said
Yeah,
that
I
there
know.
wasn't anybody. So at
But he
this
was
point,
also
either
kind of
she's
shady about it.
right. So either she's just being willfully ignorant or
Yeah.
she doesn't care, even though she says she does.
Well, I think we find out when Huey says something that,
Oh
she knows.
boy, guilt. So
We'll get to that.
yeah. So back to season 33. So after Mariah's confessional where she's like kind of feeling guilty about flirting with James while still kind of having a thing with Bananas back home, it cuts to Michelle having a conversation with Callum, J, Ed, and Emmanuel about what Raven had done previously, which in episode 2, she essentially went right to Kieran and told him like Chauncey's probably going to be the vote, and he said he was not going to pick anyone from the US, just FYI. And the US side found out fucking immediately.
Yeah.
And now they're all pissy towards her. And then Big T shows off her culinary skills. She makes lunch for the house. It looked delicious.
It looked really good. Yeah.
It did. I
It
would have
was
been like,
good.
yes, can we get her on every season?
She's
Please.
so cute when she's cooking too.
She
like,
is.
la, 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 la.
She's like,
You
it's
know
so
what I
beautiful.
noticed? I noticed that, and I didn't see it at first, but I saw this afterwards on Twitter. She was using a butter knife at one point to cut like the onions. And I was like, wait, you used a butter knife and it worked like that? I was like,
maybe
okay.
maybe that's all they had. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but somebody
Maybe
pointed it
they
out.
don't want people getting mad and stabbing each other.
Maybe it was a really sharp butter knife.
It worked.
Like,
I mean, it came out great, so it's like, okay, Big
it
D,
did.
you.
Yeah.
But good for her. She worked with the tools that she had. So they're eating. Raven is feeling the divide between her and the other women. At one point, Asaph looks like he's wearing somebody's bikini.
I saw
I was
that.
like, I love Asaph's bikini. And then, oh look, Berna is emotional again.
Yeah. I'm over that.
So they're all hanging out in a hot tub, and like Berna's doing her weird dancing thing that she does, and Big T and Melissa are doing the thing girls tend to do when they're not really feeling somebody or what they're doing, and they kind of like make eyes at each other and try to hide their giggles. They don't do a very good job, and Berna sees it, and it's like high school.
Yeah, it was totally like high school, and I don't really see. She didn't know for sure that they were doing that to her, to Berna. Do you know what I'm saying? They might have just been giggling and being stupid girls.
Oh, they were definitely doing it towards her. Like I
You
could tell
think?
Big T's face. Oh yes.
Oh, I see. I feel like they
I
didn't
could
really
tell.
show it enough that you would know that it was Berna. Of course, Berna was standing up there slapping her stomach or something. I don't know what she
Right,
was
she was
doing.
doing her weird little dance moves. And I think they
Yeah.
already kind of had some contention between them. And when you're already feeling tense with somebody,
Yeah.
you like overanalyze everything they do, everything they say, like their body language, because you're just convinced that it's negative towards you.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of where language barrier comes into play. Berna tries to explain that she feels almost like she's being bullied, and Melissa loses her motherfucking mind.
Dude,
And
she lost her shit.
explodes. And I'm like,
Yeah,
girl, you did this
with
before.
her cute
Remember
little
what happened?
accent.
Yes, her accent. I love her accent.
I
But
love
I'm
her
like,
accent.
girl, the last time you got in somebody's face like this, you ended up trading blows and went home.
Yeah.
And she was
Yeah.
in Berna's face. And they're like, oh, she's not going to hit you. And I'll be like, bitch, I saw that season. I don't know that.
But it's interesting. Like they didn't really do anything when she was in her face, but when Berna started to respond and was gonna go in her face, that's when they started to
Mhm.
interrupt. I noticed that. I'm like, oh, okay, but we all know Melissa can throw hands.
Right,
Just-
exactly. Like, how many times has this girl said that she used to train MMA?
Yeah.
And you all know that she has gotten into physical altercations before, but Berna, and I understand eventually Berna kind of like losing her shit, because if somebody stood in my face and screamed like that at me, I too would have to probably break something if I'm not going to react towards them. So it's this whole fucking meltdown.
We should explain why Melissa says she went ballistic. She said she was bullied all through school, And so it just,
Yes.
I guess, triggered her.
It
and-
triggered her, and she handled
Yeah.
it in a way that was not great, which
Right.
eventually, you know, they talk it out.
Right.
And Emmanuel's the one who kind of calms Berna down and is just
Mhm.
like, look, I understand like where we come from. The word bullied or bully kind of means it's not as intense as like where
Right.
they come from. It's a cultural difference, it's a language barrier. You know, Berna wasn't trying to call Melissa a bully. She was just trying to be like, I almost feel bullied in a way, like just the actions are just
You
making me
felt
feel
picked on.
uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah, you feel picked on,
Yeah.
like even if they're not necessarily doing it intentionally,
Right.
it's a feeling. So, you know, everybody's just standing around like, ooh, look, dinner and a movie.
Girl fight.
We didn't have to wait very long because that's how they are. They're all like, ooh, it's a free entertainment. Let me get my popcorn, pass the green wine, you know, whatever.
Now, I don't know if this is true, but they say that Big T and Melissa, what they were like giggling about and whatever, had something to do with like one of the other girls like trying to splash water in the pool or whatever. It was like some silly thing. And
See,
I don't,
that's what I'm
believe that.
saying.
I
We
don't know if I buy it.
know
I don't buy it.
what they were giggling about. It doesn't
The-
necessarily mean that it was Berna.
The reason why I don't buy it is because when I watched that scene, and you know, I had to watch the episode twice, and I look at Big T's face, the way that her like she's like kind of like trying to hide her smile, and like the way her eyes are getting like kind of big and like, ugh. I've seen girls with that look before when they're trying not to outwardly laugh at another female. So that's why I can truly understand why Berna
At least took it that way, right?
took it that way, you know, and maybe Big T may not have realized
But
like how much her
There's
face
also
betrayed her.
I'm not taking sides though, but there's also editing. They might have been laughing at some other, it might not have even been Berna. It could have been somebody else that was dancing and doing something weird. You
It
know
could
what
have
I'm
been.
saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't
Who
matter.
knows?
Berna felt it was her. She gets
And
all
you know,
paranoid. And
yeah, she Berna's.
yeah.
She
I just-
should be
I-
Hurricane Bertha.
I just don't know if the challenge is for her. You know?
Like, how did she make it on Survivor like twice? Like, I don't
I don't know.
understand.
I don't know. I have no
Well,
idea.
maybe it's different when you're doing a show with people who are like from the same area, and you know the challenge is so,
Yeah.
especially now culturally and like globally diverse, that you have such a huge pot of different personalities, and we interpret things differently depending on where we come from and
Right.
like what we think is
That might have
acceptable.
something to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have something to do with it. I love the psychology breakdown of how the people are on the challenge. It's my favorite part. So after the Berna Melissa meltdown, we about to get to the daily, and I put in a little note. I absolutely love that Ed's confessionals are basically narrating this entire season.
I love Ed.
I love Ed.
Except for his little hair pieces. Right here.
Except for his spare hair pieces. Yeah.
I hate that.
So we get to the daily, and I wrote, will third time be the charm? I don't remember the name of the daily, but it's basically a giant math and listening challenge. And I actually really like this daily.
Oh, it was called Control Tower.
Okay, Control Tower.
Yeah. No, I like this one too. Yeah, I thought it was
I
good.
thought it was interesting. It definitely kept my attention. I was kind of on the edge of my seat, and like, I mean, well, obviously because it came down to the last like minute, but essentially the daily is you have 8 cars, so you have 8 drivers and 8 partners. Then you have like 4 people at Control Tower, and then 2 people trying to solve these Sudoku versions of math equations. And once they solve the equation, the Control Tower has to direct the cars to end up in the right spaces so it fills out the thing correctly.
So
And,
what role would you guys have chosen? I would have been
Driver.
passenger, no question.
Driver. I don't want this math problem. This is a different type of challenge level math. I don't want it.
I would have taken Michelle's position.
Shouting at people. I think you would
she
be good
actually
at
did
that.
a really good job. She did a very good job.
Yeah,
You know?
she did. And she loves that kind of shit. I think Theo would be good in the Control Tower.
Yeah, you would. Yeah. What about you,
Yeah.
Caitlin?
I would just do the passenger or the driver.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
I'd have been
then
driver.
Not really good at that, like math
I'm
numbers. All.
terrible.
I think for me, if I didn't choose that, it would be driver though. But I would take Michelle's position. I would be the one shouting because you wouldn't expect it from me. But then that's exactly where I would surprise people and just be like, okay, I can see everything. This is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
This is what you guys got to do.
You can delegate well and loudly, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, and you wouldn't be expecting it, but I would do it.
No, I believe you would be really good at it. Thank God that they have. Could you imagine if this season did not have people like Ed and Kyland on it, or even Jay?
Oh, I know.
Oh yeah,
Like they would be like, bro, I don't know what you want me to do with this. This is not what we're used to on this fucking show.
they saved them daily.
Yeah, exactly. So Ed and Kylan ended up taking on the math portion, which I knew Ed was going to. He's a fucking mechanical engineer. Like,
Yeah, right.
you
Yeah.
got to be good at math to get
That's
a
his
degree in
wheelhouse.
that. It's totally his wheelhouse. They solved the first two equation in like 10 minutes. I think they only get like 30 minutes overall. They solve
Yeah.
it within like the first 10 minutes. Michelle, she's comfortable in her position of power of shouting,
Mhm.
through the mic and directing it. There. I don't remember. Was Huey put with Emmanuel?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want. Why would you put somebody with the thickest fucking accent of all the English speakers with Emmanuel, who has limited English? That would be like putting Huey with Huey. Huey
Yeah.
with Huey. Oh,
Hooey.
God.
Oh,
Hooey.
that would have been worse.
Oh my God.
It
Like,
worked out though.
I don't understand what they're saying. He would be like, I don't think they understand anything that I'm saying. It was just, I just laughed.
They don't
It was
think.
just, I saw it and I was like, that's hysterical that you put Huey with Emmanuel. But thank God it worked. It worked. Thank God Horacio was, with Huey
With
because he can speak Spanish. So like
Right.
he understands English well enough. I think the English is his first language and Spanish is his second language, or he grew up like hearing and speaking both. So that is definitely an advantage. Thank God they were smart enough to do that pairing.
By the way, we interviewed him. Y'all can go check out the interview. He was amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful per usual.
We're gonna pimp that there.
So they get stuck on equation 3. Like they spend 7 minutes trying to figure it out. So Kylan and Jay end up switching, and that's exactly what they needed. Within a couple minutes, Jay and Ed were able to figure out the answer to the equation.
Did I miss that? Did I not know that Jay was good at math? I mean,
He's never really.
He was kind of
Yeah.
low key about it. That's what I realized.
what's that?
Like he's very low key about it. He doesn't really
Yeah.
like.
I mean,
say
I
it,
watched him
but he
on
is.
Survivor and all his challenges, and I guess I just never realized he was, I don't know, good at math.
Keeps it close to the chest.
I
Yeah.
feel like everybody else notices though, so they always say, "Oh, Jay should be doing the math stuff. He's good at it." And he goes, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna do the math
Shit.
equation."
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Well, thank God they did do that, because fresh pair of eyes, they were able to solve the equation. Then they have like 4 minutes left, or like 6 minutes left to do the last one, and they managed to get it. It's Kylan and Ed again. I think the cars get in place with 1 minute to spare. So they finally win a daily. They win $50,000. The pot's up to $356K. Everybody is very excited. I was
Yes.
excited for them because it was a good daily. I really liked that daily.
It was fun. That was the point of it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It wasn't boring. It was like I could like kind of pause it and try to figure out the equation myself. I gave up after a while because I didn't know if I knew all the rules.
I didn't bother.
I'm like, do I just make up numbers till I get to the one at the end? Because I could do this.
I feel like that's what everybody
First.
else would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I'd been like, all right, well, it's got to be this. Then, I don't know. My brain works differently when I got to do math. So we get back to the house. Melissa and Berna have their little like sit down makeup session. But is it too little, too late?
At least
We'll
they
find
made
out.
up. At least
Yeah.
Melissa apologized, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least they both apologized. They, admitted to what their responsibility was in the whole blow up. So that was nice. It's very adult. I'm very proud of them both. Proud of
Yes.
them. Then we get to the club night. Per usual, it's a mix of making out and scheming.
I didn't like Mariah's outfit.
I don't usually like her outfits.
Yeah, same. But this one was weird. It was like this weird black
Yeah.
cutout.
Yeah, and because her
like it.
boobs are like so big because they're fake, they don't move. So it's like it just sat weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. That's what happens. Welcome to the big boob club. You can't wear everything. Doesn't always look right. So Emmanuel is giving Berna advice. She really needs to realize, in my opinion, and Emmanuel's opinion, that there's more to winning than just your athletic ability. Like you have got to be socially in this game, or you're never gonna make it, because you could be as good as you want, but if people don't like you, they don't get you out. You know, you keep fighting with people, you're out. You keep crying about everything, like people are just not gonna. I don't want to live with you. That's gonna be the thing. I just don't want to live with you. I don't care how good you are. Huey's confiding in Olivia that he's still annoyed Raven said his name the last time. And then I wrote down this one line he said to Olivia, because she's like, "Are you listening to me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm looking around for Raven." And he said, "She pops out of nowhere. She's like hocus pocus."
I wrote that down
laugh.
too.
She just pops out of nowhere. She's like hocus pocus.
I love him so much.
I was like, I gotta keep my eye on her. I love him. I'm so sad. Ugh, I love him so much. And then we have Jay confiding in Michelle that he doesn't trust Callum. And this is my theory. I'm wondering if he's like saying he doesn't trust Callum because I think he's nervous Michelle would save Callum over Jay because of the relationship she's developing with Callum. Because you know that always mucks up alliance lines when you start politicking.
Yeah.
Start dicking down.
I mean, she told him Jay's her number one and whatever, but
that can always change.
Oh, easily.
In the right situation, it could change. And that's why I think Jay doesn't trust Callum. Because it's threatening his position in his alliance with Michelle. He just won't come down. He just won't come out and say it. So we get to the deliberation. Everybody that always tries to defend themselves, with the exception of Huey, just always makes it so much worse for themselves. She's trying to defend herself.
Right?
Raven is trying to defend herself, and no one is convinced.
Yep.
I'm not a Raven fan.
See, here's the thing. I am, and even I wasn't convinced. I was like, Raven, you could have done better. Come on.
Yeah.
You're almost as bad as
and at one point I wrote down she admitted not knowing the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. She admits in the confessional, like, I don't think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Clearly, but the fucked up part is you're playing with a whole bunch of other people that really don't know what they're doing either, and you're still doing worse.
Which is hilarious.
Because like 80% of these people have only ever done one season. So and you did that one season with half of them.
That's why I feel like Jay and Michelle are basically running this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a little bit of Big T and Michelle because they are Melissa, excuse me, because they've also done a few seasons. But no, you're absolutely right. That's kind of why they're letting them. They are moving the chess pieces from behind the scenes. And there's so much chaos between but the whole fucking house is just constant chaotic conversations and moves, and everybody is allied with everybody but voting for everybody. And that's how they're able to do it, because nobody is like stable enough to realize what's going on.
But so that's why I like. That's why I kind of like this season.
Same.
Yeah. So that's what I was about to ask. It's like, is everybody okay with this? Because this is good entertainment.
I think it's entertaining. I like it.
I do too. Yeah.
We needed it, especially after USA 2. Like, it was just, I don't know, USA 2 was just kind of like boring, same stuff.
After a while.
Right.
Yeah.
But which is funny though, because the ratings aren't good. So
because everybody wants the champs and stuff. But I've been like enjoying it. Like, I don't understand wanting to watch it. I think they just aren't giving it a chance. They're like, oh no, I don't want to see this. But like, it's literally entertaining. They have good people on there. All that drama. They're missing out on everything. We don't need they don't need the champs for that. Like, yeah, it would be nice to see them, like just to see like how they react. But I think they're doing fine without it.
I agree. And I think part of the problem is USA 2 again aired on CBS, so much wider audience. I think they marketed it a lot more than they do for MTV's. I don't know why the ratings are low. I don't know why. I like having all the newer-ish people and not having like all the completely seasoned individuals because they run the game from the beginning and it's the same fucking thing
Right.
every season. The same alliance, the same game moves, the same we're gonna do rookies first and then we're gonna do this. And I'm just
And the
I like
rookies
this.
play into it every time.
They
That's the part that
do.
bothered me.
Oh, it's
Well,
I'm
and
like,
it's
you have the
fun.
numbers.
It's fun to see people that don't necessarily know the game really well, and they sometimes make boneheaded decisions. And I don't know. I think that's fun. I think it's fun to watch. So
I agree. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
And then I just wrote, was Berna wearing a grill during deliberation?
I thought those were braces.
you know what? Sometimes I see her and I thought she had braces, but then
Okay.
I thought I saw her at one point and she didn't have anything. So I don't know.
Okay. I don't know.
I
I'm gonna
thought
try
she
to
had
pay a little more
braces.
attention.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was, but it
Yeah.
looked like a grill. I don't know. Who knows? It could have been both for all I know.
I mean, who knows?
So then the girls decide to come up with a plan after deliberation happens to essentially burn vote on the various guys and leave it up to the men on whether it's going to end up being Raven or Berna going into elimination. I had my own idea of what I think maybe a better game plan would have been, and one that wouldn't have been able to be sussed out.
What's that?
Yeah, I want to know.
So now, of course, if I was actually playing the game, I don't know if I'd want to do it this soon because it's the third episode. But what the women should have done, especially if they wanted to maybe make it a men's elimination, because look, just because the first one went female and the second one went male does not mean you have to make the third one a female. There are no fucking rules about if it's got to be male or female right now. If the women were smart, they would have come together and picked one guy to vote.
Yeah.
Pick that one guy. All of them say his name, or two guys. So it comes down to a guy, period. And then get a couple of the strongest men to come in on the plan and have them burn vote on the women. Because if the strongest men do that, chances are whatever guy gets thrown into elimination is not going to pick one of those really strong guys to go against.
Here's the problem.
High risk, high reward.
That's too smart for some people.
I know. They wouldn't have been able to do it. They would have told everybody the game plan. Like Raven would have went and told Kieran immediately. Like,
yeah,
that's the flaw right there. It's that everybody in the house,
people are the flaw.
They can't keep quiet. They would not have worked just because of that.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
That's why I'm like, I don't even know if I would have done it on the third episode.
It's a really good plan. It's just that people are involved. People screw everything up. So I don't,
I would have had to wait till episode 7.
The burn vote thing was interesting to me when we see what happens in the next episode. You're just like, okay.
Yeah.
You know. Wait, did she pause? Oh.
No, Suki
like
was trying to eat a hair.
Oh.
Off the floor. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? It doesn't taste good. It doesn't smell good. Ugh. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what I would have done. But again, maybe not this soon because he's maybe not even with this cast of people.
Right. Yeah.
See, but that leads me to the new question though. Is Corey, do you think he was right to be upset with that fact that it was left to the guys? Because he seemed very adamant about them using their votes properly. And even TJ was just like, you do know you don't have to burn vote, right? Like he pretty much outright said that without directly saying it.
I could see him being annoyed, but at the same time, it's like, you're not going to be going in because we want to make it a women's, but I could also see like maybe he's nervous, like, okay, that's how you want it to play out, but what if it doesn't play out that way? Like, what if the guys don't play that?
All the guys were like, oh my gosh, they're burning votes, blah, 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 which is what I was just alluding to, because in the next episode, the boys do the same thing.
Some of them do.
So, yeah, they can't all be hypocritical about it.
Well, apparently they can be.
You know?
Or they'll definitely try. Or the guys could have turned it around on the girls and random burn voted on them.
See, that's what I was thinking. What if it was a stalemate? What would they have done?
TJ would have been like, y'all are gonna do this again, or I'm gonna fucking pick. Okay. And then they would have fallen in line and picked somebody.
Yeah.
That's what I think probably would have happened. But it doesn't matter. So like you said, yeah, like Corey and Jay. Corey was vocally like nervous about it, and I'm like, my dude, you have got to play your cards closer to your chest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like,
Yeah.
if he needs a friend to tell him, my dude, you gotta play that shit closer to the chest because you are literally showing all your hands and you're
Yep.
pissing off people for the dumbest shit. And you may be a strong competitor, but that does not mean you want to risk going down there.
Mhm.
Like, it's too early to piss this many people off. So then we get to elimination time, and I just want to say again, I absolutely hate their uniform colors. The orange is atrocious. It is
Yeah.
so fucking ugly. So they start going down and voting. The women are all voting for random men. The dudes are all voting for Raven. Even Kieran says Raven's name.
Yeah.
You know what though? I mean, you get into a situation where you know everyone's going to choose that. Do you go off on your own and piss off somebody else, or do you just go with the flow and
This early in the game, I would have just voted for Berna. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Or I would have, if I was Raven, I would have been like, fine, you want to vote for me? Well, you can look at me from afar because you can never touching this shit again.
Yeah.
But she doesn't do that, as we see very, very shortly. I was like, see, I should have gone with my idea, and TJ wouldn't have been able to figure it out. He calls them out and everything for their burn votes. Raven ends up being the house vote, and she chooses I can never say her name right.
Hooey.
Hui. I think it's because I'm afraid of saying Huey.
Yeah.
So like I'm like I get myself all tongue tied. Now I'm curious as to why she picked Huey.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
'Cause
still don't know.
Maybe because she's tiny.
Maybe
But they're tinier girls, though.
I'd pick Michelle. In that one, I'd have picked Michelle.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I could at least body the bitch if she grabs it first.
Maybe she just didn't know that much about her. So
Could be. And I think she
Yeah.
was probably not going to pick somebody who is a US female, which
Sure. Oh, for
left
sure. Yeah.
Huey, Zara, Melissa, and Big T, I think.
Yeah. Well, and Berna.
And Berna. Oh, yeah, that's right. And Colleen. Excuse me. Colleen's been
Colleen.
like a fly on the wall this whole season so
Yeah,
far.
she's like wallpaper right now. I like her though.
I do like her.
Yeah.
I wanted to go against. I maybe would have picked, if I was Raven and I looked at the other woman, it could have been Huey. I also would have considered Colleen because she is small. And this is like, again, I could body the bitch if she grabbed the piece before me.
I mean, I'm going to use this word and not in a bad way. Raven's more stout, and I don't mean that like she's a big girl, but she's solid. And so maybe, like I said, maybe she just picked Pahui because she is like a third. Of course, Zara's tiny and but she's a badass. But she's a badass.
Yes, but we're not in a running competition.
True.
I would want whoever I think I could overpower. So, but maybe that's why. Maybe she didn't have a relationship with Huey that way, and she thought, physically, okay, I may stand a chance. So it's like a weird. It's not really a pole wrestle. I mean, it could have turned into a pole wrestle if they would have played it that way. But essentially, there's like 3 pipes buried in the sand mound, and whoever gets the most out of the 3 pipes in their basket after 2 to 3 rounds wins. Huey ends up winning round 1. I had to rewatch this because I was very confused when I first watched it because I didn't like sit down and watch it. But essentially Huey wins the first round, and the way that how aggressive she was, it essentially kills her arm muscle strength for the second 2.
I thought the whole thing was just underwhelming. I didn't find it exciting or,
Same.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, but I was expecting more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I don't know if 3 rounds of 3 was necessary.
Right.
I don't know. They were trying something different, I guess.
Because I thought when I saw the pieces, I'm like, are they supposed to put something together, or are they supposed to
Yeah.
just put it in the bin? And then I saw they just put it in the bin. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
would have been happier with a pole wrestle, if I'm honest with you. So Raven ends up winning round 2, and even though Huey puts up a good fight, she ends up losing round 3 as well. So Raven wins. Huey goes home. She has such a lovely send-off speech.
Oh,
She's
it was so sweet. And TJ was so nice to her.
Yeah, you can tell he really likes her.
Yeah. Everybody likes her.
Oh yeah.
You know what's funny though is I think she's just a nice person, and that's why she and Horacio, because they speak the same language and everything, they would have been a cute couple. But she said she had a boyfriend, so but I thought they would have been a cute couple too.
They would have been.
They would have been a cute couple. He and Nerys are a hot couple.
They're beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what do we think of episode 3?
I mean, it was entertaining. I liked it.
All the drama. At least they didn't edit that out. All that, like, we needed to see a fight like that.
Yes, at least we got something.
A little pop off here and there. That's what we need. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I liked episode 3. I really liked the daily. That was a good daily. I liked the drama that was mixed in, chaos, just constant chaos. Just like a constant tornado of emotions in that house. Just
I would say the elimination was probably the weakest part of the episode in hindsight.
Yeah.
Which has kind of been how the last few episodes have been. And I don't know if it's because they're saving all the good stuff when the champs get there, but
probably why.
Yeah, because even the one in the 4th episode, it's like, it was
still
lacking
a little
something.
more interesting though.
A little bit more, but
I
still
liked
lacking
that.
something.
I liked in the episode 4 one better than the episode 3 one.
Yeah, it was more strategy for that. So episode 4 is titled "I'm Coming Out," and we return back to the house after Raven wins her elimination. People are torn on how they feel about her returning. She seeks solace in Kieran, the man that just helped vote her in. Just, girl, you gotta at least make him work for it. You gotta give him a little shit for doing it. But now she's just like, love you. And I'm like, standards, find them. I guess we shouldn't be surprised though, because she was fighting about Johnny's ass. Johnny, whatever his name is, on Ride or Dies.
Yeah.
So she got to work on that. Kyland is suspicious of possible alliances and the fact that he doesn't have the same relationships as everyone else. He's talking to Melissa about it. And she's just like,
they are a super cute couple too.
They are cute. I agree. I think they're cute. Yeah, I like him. I'm liking him on this season. I think he's doing well. Zara is still finding Corey to be snaky. She's still like, she starts talking about how she heard he might have wanted to say her name or something. I don't know. She takes it super personally, and even Horacio's like, people in this game take stuff so personally, and you can't do that. But she is on a mission. She's on a mission against Corey. Corey and Asaph are discussing alliances and plans. There's just a lot more scheming. Little clippets of people scheming. Because like I said, it's a constant tornado of chaos in that house. We're all allied, but trust no one.
Yep.
Essentially what it is. And then this is a swimming challenge.
Yeah.
That we have this time.
I have to say, TJ's shirt looked like pajamas.
It did.
Right?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It did look like pajamas. Hey, maybe he's just comfortable.
He looked totally comfortable.
Mm-hmm. So essentially with this swimming challenge, everybody has to participate. You all have to swim to a buoy. Everyone needs to grab a puzzle piece and take it to the puzzle boards. There's 24 pieces, right? And only 21 people.
Yeah.
Or 25 pieces, something like that. So a couple people are going to have to go twice, but they can't until everyone has gotten at least one piece. And I guess the buoys were not color coded based on the pieces. They were either just black or white, right? Like I don't think I saw like
blue, right.
Okay.
They had Right, the buoys, yeah, were black and white.
Oh, okay.
I didn't understand that because they said I thought everyone had to go get their own piece, but Nerys didn't get hers. Ed got hers.
She
No,
had to
no.
swim it in, but I don't know I'm not sure what
Oh,
happened with that.
yeah,
So
so I
the
thought every person had to go get their own piece, but maybe I was wrong about that.
no, it was more like this. So everybody had to try and get their piece,
Yeah.
and then if it didn't work or whatever, after everybody went and got it,
Oh, then someone else could come. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And I think it
Yeah.
was like 4 people that could do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Because I was
feel like
confused about that too.
I feel like I'm a pretty strong swimmer unless the water's cold. Then I think that was probably an issue for a lot of them, but
I mean, unfortunately for Nerys, and she's like, I'm not a very strong swimmer.
Yeah.
And in that situation, if you're not a strong swimmer, like, even though you can pull yourself down using the rope, if you're not a strong swimmer, like, you're gonna freak yourself out. I'm gonna run out of air, so you're not gonna be breathing properly. But yeah, I thought, I wonder if like she just timed out and that's why they let Ed go swim out there to unhook the piece, but she still had to swim it to the platform. And I'm like wondering why they didn't do that for Melissa, because she was out there for a long time, but maybe it was I don't know. Or it was probably something set off camera that we didn't see. Like, production was like, fuck it, just someone go out and help her. This
just go get her. Yeah.
Everybody's literally waiting, and there's just Nerys like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Big
So
she was like, I just love everything water.
Yes, because we remember she used to be a swimmer. I like Ed's comment. I'm not built like Michael Phelps. I'm built like a damn gorilla. But in the water, I'm like a shark.
He was really killing it on the swim. He's a stocky dude too.
Yeah, he's what is his weakness? I wonder if it's food.
I don't know.
Because he is intelligent.
I guess we'll see.
He's actually strong. Like, his muscles are not popcorn muscles. The man can swim.
Yeah.
He has some sort of endurance. Did you say I said that on one of our posts and Gwen commented his rapping? That's his weakness.
I love his Instagram stuff though. I do so too. Funny. He's funny.
Hilarious.
He's just a happy dude.
Also,
he's really like that too.
Also, a note for Nerys is, and this is probably why she did bad in that daily, is that necklace, the Scuba Nelly. When I saw that, I said, "Oh, yep, that's why."
Yeah, that's pretty funny, actually.
Held you back, girl. Don't wear it ever again.
Bad luck charm.
Bad luck charm. So they get all the pieces onto the platforms, and they have to swim the little platforms to the big one and hook all the different 5 colored platforms to the big one.
And then
they literally
everybody had to get in the middle thing.
Yes, and I think they had 3 seconds to spare.
3 seconds left.
Luckily, they cut it close again.
Yes, super close, but they fucking won again. I was so happy for them. Yeah. So they won another 50,000. So now it's up to what I think $406,000 is the winning pot. So we're getting a little bit closer, and Siren tells Ed his new name should be Aquaman because he got 3 pieces. He did it 3 times. And the big part of the episode, and the reason why the episode is titled I'm Coming Out, is Big T has a coming out party.
Yeah.
They don't really talk about labels, so I don't know if like she just loves only women or if she just realizes she also likes women. But regardless,
she said she had been in a relationship.
Yeah.
With a woman. So, but yeah, she didn't really define it. But...
Right. And I think she kind of said like she doesn't want to do labels, which is fine. So she just loves people based on people. And this is like her coming out party. So they're having like a huge pride celebration. Corey and Huey work together to prep the food. And I do like how much kinder Corey is about Huey this season.
Yeah.
It's a nice change. I like to see their friendship, and Huey absolutely decimates the watermelon. It's like, how do I cut this thing?
I was like, what is happening? And then he's gonna blame it
on James and Kieran. He's like, who else is shit at cutting fruit? James and Kieran. I'm just gonna blame it on them.
He's like, oh, you're doing a good job at first, and then
he's like, this plate is awful. No one's gonna eat this.
I wish I had Huey's voice is like my alarm clock or something, just to wake me up
Get
every
the
day.
fuck up.
Yeah.
Or however you would do it.
Love him. I love his little
Tia,
accent.
time to get up. I know. My impersonation is awful this episode.
You have to add, I
work on
think,
it.
if you say that though.
I
What's
think it's
that?
time to get up in the
Oh,
morning.
yeah,
See, that's way
there
too.
you go.
Has to.
But it's like, I don't know. I gotta listen to him some more and then I'll be able to do a good impersonation. I loved Emmanuel in his wig and dress, even though his dress kept falling past his nips.
Yeah.
I was like, whose dress are you trying on? It's too tight. Asif looks great in red. I liked his little red wrap, little bodycon dress. And then they play a game of most likely. And it goes,
You mean
it's like
Huey plays a game?
Well, they
There
started
you
it.
go. That's
And then it
better.
got to Huey. And he's like, who's most likely to get voted into elimination tomorrow? All right, who's most likely to cheat on someone at home? And then Callum gets really
They
offended.
go
And I'm like,
straight to Callum.
bro, your guilt is showing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It
And the
was
producer
palpable.
so palpable. And in the confessional, the producer's like, so is she like your girlfriend? And he's like, I don't know. You don't fucking know. You told her you loved her on episode 1.
Man, that was
Well,
crazy.
she's not your
He tried
girlfriend now,
so-
I bet.
You could see how red he got even behind the tattoos.
Yes. Maybe that's why he got all those tattoos on his face and neck, so you can't see when he blushes. And Michelle's just like sitting there uncomfortably because it's like, bitch, you know he lying to you. And he's like, oh, Huey, why's he gotta bring all these things up? He always turns these games. And I'm like, bro, that's your guilt showing. Just relax.
Well, I thought they would show maybe Mariah too. You know,
Oh, yeah.
pan the camera on her, but yeah.
No, it's just Callum because he
Just
was getting all
Callum.
huffy. And then after the most likely 2 questions go south, we pan to Zara still venting about Corey, to Mariah. Like, she's venting about something that didn't even happen. I heard he may have wanted to say my name in a past elimination.
But he
not the
did
same
say
thing.
But he did
He
say
did, though.
that.
He did.
He did say that.
And he admitted
No, I
it.
know, but like, she's upset about something that didn't happen. But she doesn't know, like, for a fact that he did that.
Yeah. But he said that he made some comment like he didn't want to get thrown in for something that he didn't do, but he did do it.
Maybe he
made
meant
some
like
comment.
didn't do it as in like I didn't say her name. So like, why are you gonna throw me in if I didn't?
No,
I don't know.
maybe.
Again, it's
Yeah.
chaos.
Yeah.
They're all friends and upset with each other at the same time. And she's venting to Mariah, Raven, James, and Siren. That's when I wrote, why the fuck is Raven still at Kieran's ass? Callum basically has heart eyes for Michelle, but still has a girlfriend.
I don't know.
Girlfriend.
All the stuff he was saying to Michelle just sounded
I've heard him say that before on
fake
other
bullshit.
shows.
Yeah, it sounded like fake bullshit. Just something a guy says to get in your pants,
But
whatever.
his little smile and his little bashful fluttering of his little eyelashes. Get the fuck out of here. And she's falling for it.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
find him all that attractive.
Callum seemed to be bothered the entire episode. Like, even in the daily, he said something
Who?
like, Callum.
Oh.
Even in the daily, he said something and everybody was mad and they're like, dude, why are you saying this? It was almost like he was gonna jinx them.
Mm.
It was like some comment he made, and I don't even remember the full comment, but he said something along the lines of they would screw up.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I saw that. I'm like, Callum, y'all just won in the 3rd episode. Why are you trying to bring everybody down? And clearly they felt that way because they got mad at it. I'm like,
Maybe
this guy's been bothered the whole episode.
Maybe he's feeling the weight of guilt. Maybe that's what it is.
Sorry, I had to break up a play fight between my dogs. I called Leroy Uncle Fester because we're watching the Addams Family. And Matt's like, he's not bald and ugly. He doesn't look like Christopher Lloyd.
Aw.
This is my handsome.
There was who said that?
That was Matt saying this, shouting, "This is my handsome man. How dare you call him Fester?" I'm gonna have to cut all this out now.
Who Who was it? Somebody was it somebody was it Michelle? Was it Michelle and Corey that were talking or something, and they were saying that they were friends? I can't keep up with who's actually friends anymore. Like, who was it? It was on this episode.
Michelle did, because Michelle went to Corey and
So
somebody else. I was warning Corey, like, hey, I'm hearing your name.
that's what it was. And I was
Oh,
sitting
and
there
Raven
going,
was there. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I just
I
can't
remember.
keep up with who's actually like friends now, though. Like across the whole challenge board. Like, did I know that Michelle and Corey were that close? Did y'all know that? Maybe it's just me.
Or maybe on social media. Because they did,
Yeah.
well, no, because remember they were partnered on their first season together for a bit.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just never, okay, maybe it was just me.
And then their friendship continued after. I don't know. They're all
Yeah.
friends with everyone, but hate each other at the same time. It just
Yeah,
make it
that's
make
true.
sense. You know what I mean? Just make it make sense.
They're frenemies.
So after we see, Callum batting his eyelashes at Michelle, we cut to Mariah and James flirting up a storm.
Yeah, they
And
were.
the other girlies are talking about it and they have opinions. And we kind of touched on this at the beginning of our recap episode. But Olivia and Nerese seem to be in disagreement over their opinion on the situation. Nerese is like, Mariah don't owe banana shit. They're not in a relationship. And Olivia's like, yeah, but there's still something. They're still hanging out. They're still going out together, They're still kissy, fucky, There's still something. There may not be a label, but there's something.
It's a matter of respect.
Yeah,
They
it's
should
a
have either
respect
hashed it
thing.
out or, yeah, she
Set
waits.
boundaries or something. Like I said, I see where they're both coming from. Like I see where Nerese is coming from. Like, you're not in a relationship with him. You know he would do it to you. But I also see where Olivia's coming from of like, but you wouldn't want that done to you.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I can understand. And Mariah is clearly feeling very guilty about it because later she confides in Nerese and she starts crying and how she feels guilty. And I'm wondering if this is where the cracks in Olivia and Nerese begin.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say probably yes.
And I wonder if this had pushed Nerese a little closer to Mariah, and that just further fueled the cracks in the Nerese and Olivia friendship. Because Olivia may be acting cool towards Mariah, but like I told y'all before they started filming the season, she was not feeling Mariah like that. Like she would say some kind of, she wouldn't like get specific, but she would say some things that could be a little shady, a little, this is kind of has a deeper meaning. So I don't know. I'm just theorizing. Theorizing on what I see and what I know.
Well, unlike Frankie, I'm team Olivia.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sorry. I think Mariah is incredibly boring.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like her. She seems nice enough, but yeah, she's boring.
Dick episodes aside, I think she's boring. Like, even when she talks, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't really have an inflection in my voice, and I'm trying to figure out what my brain wants me to say next. But like, I'm just really excited to do this. That's
I
Mariah.
like all three of them, to be fair, but Olivia, after Ryder dies, she's got my respect no matter what.
Yeah, especially if that golf ball to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love her.
I
love Nerese too. So.
I also do like Nerese. Yeah, I absolutely do. After the whole Mariah thing, that's when we see Michelle sit down with Corey and Raven about what Zara has been saying and basically warns Corey, you need to be prepared when we go in this deliberation so you don't talk yourself into a grave.
Like everybody else.
Like everybody else has fucking done when they talk in deliberation.
Oh, I wanted to bring this up. Did y'all remember, TJ, we were talking about it didn't have to be a girls' day or whatever, but TJ said the guys we're getting a little guy heavy, so it's going to be a guys elimination.
But I feel like that's in a direct response to what happened in the previous episode, though, because it's been like a pattern lately.
Right? Yeah, but it didn't matter. He didn't have to step in and say that. It could have been whoever voted for whoever. It could have come down to a women's elimination.
Yeah.
But
I'm wondering if they did
uh,
that because of how they're having the champs come in. I don't know. You know,
or
production likes to
maybe-
change shit up halfway through.
That's true, but it could also be maybe the guys. You know how they've been trying to take out the women and they want to fight amongst themselves. That's what it looks like anyway from episode 1.
Right, but if that's the
So-
way it goes down, that's the way it goes down. You can't let them do whatever they want to do and then step in and go, hey, we got too many men. We're gonna, yeah. Then they should have made it men's, women, men's, you know, like alternating. You know what I'm
But
They
saying?
should have
So-
always had a
that's-
set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Elam.
guess you're trying to say TJ did. If they were doing that, maybe TJ didn't have to say it outright because he made it kind of obvious the way he said it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's why, but I'm not sure. But to me, it wasn't necessary. I don't think there was too many guys like that. But then again, hey, production does what they want, right?
They stepped in for a reason.
Sure do.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right before we get to deliberation, it's just more game talk. And I wrote down like everyone is literally a part of 3 different alliances. US versus UK, men versus women, and then smaller groups versus more smaller groups. None of these people have any
Yep.
real loyalty.
Yep. True.
Like they're all pissed over dumb shit. And then their best friends, again, it's a tornado of chaos. I love to watch it, but I would drive myself insane if I had to deal with it. Be like, I can't do this. So we get to deliberation. James comes out the gate and says he's heard Huey and Corey's name floating around. Huey is proper annoyed. Callum's being a dick about it, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I'm not surprised. I think he just feels like Huey tried to blow up his spot with the whole cheating thing. And then all the men have to toot their own horn about why they are the greatest
Oh.
asset
That was so
Michelle.
annoying.
on the team.
Michelle confessional killed me.
I was
The
like,
circle of
seriously?
narcissists.
I'm so great at everything. Ever.
I know what I'm doing. I belong to be here. Yeah, that is not an asset, sir. Your opinion is not an asset, but thanks for providing it. The conversation, and then afterwards there's conversation between the women about saying James instead of Huey.
Yeah.
Which obviously Mariah's not part of that conversation, but all her besties are, so it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering why they are trying to go for James. they don't really talk
Probably
about it.
to get out a stronger guy to help their American alliance, maybe.
Well, Olivia does say it makes sense because they want to get some strong people out. And I'm like, did
Yeah.
you all forget the lack of endurance this man possesses?
Thank you. The whole time they're talking about him being so strong, I'm like, yeah, he may be physically strong, sure.
He
But
can
his
lift a rock
endurance-
standing still, but don't ask him to run with it.
But his endurance was yikes.
Yeah. So I'm saying, I'm like, do we do know that strength is like an overall thing in this game, right? Right? Apparently not. We're all
Apparently not.
idiots. So we get to the elimination. Half the men end up burn voting on other men.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Complaining about the women doing it.
And the women are
turn
like-
around and do it themselves.
Wait a minute. Did you all pull this shit the last time? Nerys is pissed that everyone's saying Huey instead of James because that's what they discussed, but she ends up going with the majority. And unfortunately, it ends up being Huey, which makes me sad. And then he picks Kyland.
I was confused by that.
I was.
That
Yeah.
was too. Yeah.
Like, especially
mean-
because he's smart on top of being strong.
So he had to pick an American and he wasn't going to pick Corey. So that left Jay. Who else?
I would
Jay
have picked Callum
or Ross.
if I were Huey.
He's not going to pick off a UK guy though.
Well, you know what? If y'all are going to say my fucking name and you're from the UK or the non-US, I'm picking one of you motherfuckers. At this
Well,
point,
true.
what loyalty? You all said my
be
name.
Be
Exactly.
a petty. Yeah, true. But yeah.
I'll make sure you all lose a number regardless.
Maybe it was like the last one with Raven picking Huhui. Maybe they just didn't know what that other person was capable of. I don't know.
But
But he
Kylan
knows
proved it
Kylan
with
is smart.
Haley's. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It was
Kylan beat him, so
he did.
wrong choice.
Huey was like right on his ass, and I think if he would have picked a Kieran, I think if he would have picked James, he would have won. James would have
Yeah, he
been
probably
tired.
would have actually.
But
I think he
Because
would have
Huey was
won.
doing well. He was doing really well once he
Until he
figured
fell
it
over the
out.
basket.
see,
Well,
I can't
no.
say that would be 100% true. Only because James did outsmart Chauncey. Mind you, Chauncey was
Okay,
like
first of
better
all,
endurance.
Chauncey's not very smart. Second of all, what? Chauncey's not very smart. Let's be real.
I like Chauncey, so I'm not saying anything.
I love Chauncey. I think he's a sweetheart. I just don't think he's very smart. So yeah, your argument is invalid.
Okay. But I'm just saying that James may be smarter than we think. If he had gone in there, he could have done better than we think. That doesn't mean he would have won, because again, his
Yeah.
endurance is
Yeah.
I
Again,
feel like
yikes.
with
He should have picked
I feel
Callum
like
or
with
Kieran or
this
James.
see, Callum would have been my
elimination,
pick.
I feel like with this elimination though, it's just a crapshoot. Anybody really
Kinda.
could have gone against anyone else and figured it out and won. You know? I feel like once you got the groove of it, anybody could have taken
I think
that.
what helped Kylan is when he kind of figured out that the two
Just
ends
swap it.
were
Yeah.
separate, and he swapped it around. I don't know if some of the other guys would have figured that out. They may have assumed it was the same one either way. I think some of them would have just continued to overshoot or over push
Yeah.
the ball.
I think Ed would have been good at it though.
Oh, Ed would have been good. I wouldn't have wanted
Yeah.
to go against Ed. Again, he's smart. So unfortunately we have to say goodbye to Huey, which makes me really sad. I love Huey.
Again though, TJ was so nice to Huey when he left.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He
So
was.
I love that.
Me too. I love that too. I don't think I saw any previews. Well, other than we know that there's going to be a champ next week, and it looks like it might be Jordan. But now
Yeah.
I'm questioning if it's going to be Jordan, because then that would make it a guys elimination. And we just had guys.
Well,
So
and it could be
who
just one of
knows?
those things where they just show one of the people. I
Yeah.
think they showed
They-
Kaz too. I think they showed Jordan and Kaz next to each other.
Oh,
I think I
oh,
saw
maybe that'll
Kaz
be a double.
before I saw her shadow.
I
I'll
didn't
have to,
notice
rewatch
that.
it. I saw her shadow. I'll have to rewatch it and get a picture, but I saw her shadow. So maybe both of them come out. Maybe it's a double elimination.
Maybe.
Oh,
You
maybe.
notice how much they've been showing? It looked like CT, right? With that mace.
Yeah.
They keep showing it, right? And it's only a
Yeah.
little glimpse. Like they'll show him throwing it down, or they'll just show it hitting the ground. And I'm always like, see, people want to see him. I know that.
Of course they do.
Spoiler alert, I think CT is one of the last ones to go. Like, we know Kara's the last female.
Yeah.
I feel like
Last.
I think CT was near the end because Kara and Polly hung out with CT in Croatia.
Oh, that
So-
And I
would
don't think they were keeping the champs around that long.
Spoilers in case anybody wants to stop it here. So we know what happens with Kara, but do we know who takes CT? Or does he win and take money?
he wins.
I think he wins.
He wins and takes money.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I tried to not pay attention to any of those spoilers. And I actually put it out in my head who won the whole thing. And then somebody reminded me and I was like, okay. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Same.
Anyway.
Anyway, I enjoyed the episode. The daily was okay. The elimination, it was okay. The chaos. I love the chaos. And I love the big T coming out party.
Yeah. That was nice.
That was nice. And people
She's
getting
just so
along
cute.
for a minute.
I just love her.
He is.
For all you
Or the-
haters.
Yeah.
She's
It's
awesome.
it's so weird to me. I don't understand why
love
people
Big T. I
think
don't
she's
know
too
what-
big for her britches this season.
There are people that don't like her though. Like a lot.
Like,
Weird to me.
I haven't seen anything that makes me think. Yes, she was trying to like plot and scheme a little bit in the beginning, but everybody was.
Everybody does that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Jay and Michelle, again, they're running,
They're running the
game.
whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
They're allied with everybody. Doesn't make sense to me. I still love her.
Me too.
Fuck the haters,
So do I.
as they say. Any other last minute thoughts or comments on
So then
episode
here's
4?
my
episode
question.
3?
Which
Yeah.
episode was better, 3 or 4?
3.
3. With all the
Three.
drama.
Though 4 was good
Okay.
because of the Mariah drama and all that. But I like 3 better overall because I really liked that daily.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I thought
I'd
3 was
say
good.
I'd say elimination wise 4,
Yeah.
but the rest I'm
Mm.
going 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So I guess we're gonna get 1 episode next week. I don't know. Who knows? They might double it up again. I wonder if they're trying. I have a theory. You know, I love a good conspiracy theory. I wonder if now they're trying to speed up this season because AS4 is going to be coming soon.
I think that's what I've heard. Yeah.
I'm hopeful that's what it is.
God, I hope AS. It's been a year
Well, and I
almost
think
since
they're
they
trying to
filmed.
speed it up to get the
Well,
you know,
yeah, to get the
season all
champs
of them
in.
in there. So the champs,
Mhm.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe it'll just be single episodes after this week. I don't know. We're gonna find out because the decision to make it a double episode this week was only made a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was very
Very
weird,
Yeah.
very odd.
But
So I don't know.
no matter what, 1 or 2 episodes, we're gonna be here to talk about it.
Yes,
Exactly.
and how much fun and crazy and stupid they all are
Exactly.
because it's their favorite
Oh.
part.
Hopefully there'll
All
be
right,
more
guys.
ups and drama.
Yes, and we get to see all of it. So
Yeah.
if you're not already following us on Facebook, we are the Challenge Unbothered. Please keep in mind we are a spoilers group. We also have other groups that are not challenge related, like Entertainment Unbothered, Cookie Unbothered, my favorite, Animal Memes Unbothered. Because there's cute videos and memes and pictures
So many
and
cute
everything
videos
else.
of animals.
So it's one of my favorites. On Instagram, we have the Challenge Unbothered. On YouTube, the Unbothered Podcast. And we have the Unbothered Podcast on Apple, Spotify, all that fun streaming stuff. So we will see you guys next time. Ta-ta.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.